Okay, so let's continue. We were talking about invitation to treat. We have learned about the meaning of invitation to treat. We were talking about examples. Then we have talked about number one, about price list, catalog, display of goods. Then number two, invitation for tender. And we defined what a tender is, and I gave you examples to that effect. And I indicated that tenders are not offer, they are invitation to treat. Let me even give you this example. Please, go and get any newspaper, Daily Graphic, Ghanaian Times, or whatever. Open. At a certain page, because tenders usually appear in newspapers, so you can get as many as possible. Make photocopy and bring to school. Make photocopy of a tender. You see the heading, you open the newspaper, maybe you may get yours at page 1, another person maybe page 2. So as you are flipping through the newspapers, you come to a certain point and then you see tender. The moment you see the tender, it means you are fortunate. Then you make photocopy and bring it. I'm not asking you to go and cut it because the newspaper may not be yours. But if your father says, take it, if your father says, cut it, that will not have any problem. But I'm not saying go and cut it. I'm saying make photocopy. However you are going to bring it, that is not my problem. But all that I'm telling you that when school reopens, you are bringing tender. You are making photocopy or you are bringing, whether you can, however you are going to get it, just bring it to school when school opens. So that is for your assignment. So let's move to the third one. Another example of invitation to treat is statement of selling price. Statement of selling price. Statement of selling price is not an offer, it is a mere invitation to treat. And we are going to give an example, you understand it. Abigail, come. Abigail, come. Come. Now we are going to use this case to explain statement of selling price. Now there was a case between Harvey versus Fassi in 1893. Please, have you Harvey versus Fassi in 1893? Now there is this dialogue. Now when you see H, the H is representing Harvey, F is representing Fassi. Certain statements were made. Somebody wanted to buy something, and he made some request through telegram. Those days they were using that particular thing, a telegram, in communicating. So he sent a telegram. Please listen, as we are going to read this thing, you see that the grammar will not be maybe as you are expecting. Those days, when they were using a telegraph, the more the words, the more you pay. So if you, let's say 10 words, you will not pay the same as 20 words. So when you were sending, whenever they were sending telegram, they took away some words that they think that when you take the word away, still the person will understand it. So if it is that is supposed to be taken and you still understand it, the person will take it. It is even like today you are sending a WhatsApp message to somebody, your friend. You can decide the way you write it. If you think your person will understand, you take away certain words. That is how it is. So that is, you should not mind the grammar in this particular thing. This is exactly what they said. But you should not mind the grammar. Now, Abigail, because it is conversation, I'm going to be happy. You will be Fassi. Is that okay? So when I read this one, where I've written F, you will be the one to read. So now, now remember, this is Harvey is the plaintiff, Fassi is the defendant. And it happened in 1893. We are now in 23, and this one is 1893. So now, I'm happy. I'm sending telegraph to Fassi. Will you send us bumper hopping telegraph lowest price? So I've sent a telegraph to him. I said, will you send us? And what am I buying? Bumper hopping. Then I said, they should telegraph. They should also telegraph. I have sent this telegraph. They should also telegraph by giving me the lowest price. So now, what is the telegraph I'm going to receive from Fassi?
Lowest prices for bumper hopping, 900 euros.
This is not euros, so those days they were not, that is pounds. Pounds, 900 pounds. Okay, so say it again.
Lowest prices for bumper hopping, 900 pounds.
So that is the telegram that has come to me. Fassi. So I'm going to reply. We agree to buy bumper hopping 900 pounds asked by you. Please send us your title deed in order that we may get early possession. So I want having one is saying that okay, the 900 pounds you said that's it. We have agreed to buy it. So you send us the documents that will enable us to get possession of the pen as early as possible. So that is that. So when that one went, what happened?
No reply.
So Fassi did not bring any reply. There is no reply. Now we will go over. I was explaining to you. So now we are going to move straight. I will not interrupt with anything. Will you sell us bumper hopping? Telegraph lowest price.
Lowest prices for bumper hopping, 900 pounds.
We agree to buy bumper hopping 900 pounds asked by you. Please send us your title deed in order that we may get early possession. So now, quiet. So you see, when I said that I was expecting reply, so no reply. So what is the next thing that happened? I sealed them. Why? On what basis did I seal them? No, you see, I thought that because I asked them to tell me the lowest price of their bumper hopping, and I said they gave me the lowest. I said, okay, I'm ready to buy. I was thinking that when they said the lowest price for the bumper hopping was 900 pounds, I was thinking that they were making offer. So if they were making offer and I've accepted the offer, then they didn't reply. Then means I thought they have breached an agreement. That is why I sealed them. But would that be the thinking of the court? So let's look at how it was held. What happened? What happened? When having sealed Fassi, what happened? Held. Now, you know, at times when you go to court, even the judge can make a mistake. That is why we have appeal court. So you see, law is very difficult because the judge who may sit to advocate a case may make a mistake. He may make a mistake. And that's why they say, okay, if you think that the judge had made a mistake, then appeal. So you go to appeal court. So in this case, when having sent Fassi to court, initially, the Supreme Court of Jamaica granted specific performance. The case went to Supreme Court in Jamaica, and the judge, they granted the plaintiff specific performance. In law, when we say you have been granted specific performance, what does that mean? What it means is that the Supreme Court said the defendant, that is Fassi, should supply the pens. That is what is meant by specific performance. When you enter into a contract with somebody and the person is supposed to do something and the person doesn't do what he or she is supposed to do, and you want the person to do what he or she is expected to have done, you go to court, you say you are suing the person for specific performance. It means that you want the person to do what the person should have done. Let me give you an example. You enter into a contract with somebody to weed your farm. You have paid the person 200 Ghana cedis. The person refused to read. Then later the person said that, me, I will not read. Take your 200 Ghana. But you see, you don't want the 200 Ghana. The person is even saying, oh, okay, I'm adding 50 cedis. Because your money had come to me, I have kept it for some time. So take 250. He said, me, I don't want the money. I want you to read the farm. The person, I will not read. When you go to court, you tell the court that you are suing the person for specific performance. That means you want the court to order the person to go and read the farm. If the court grants it, then the court will ask the person to go and read the farm. And that is exactly what the Supreme Court did here. They granted the plaintiff specific performance, meaning they were asking the defendant. When the defendant were not ready to sell the pens to them, the court ordered that they should sell the pens to them. Then the defendant said, no, the court has made a mistake. So they went to an appeal court. So they appealed and went to appeal court. When they went to appeal court, they won the case. The appeal court said that the Supreme Court made a mistake. So if you look at it, when it was appealed, then here it was the Supreme Court of Jamaica. But when they appealed, the Judicial Committee of Privy Council, they call them Judicial Committee of Privy Council at the appeal court, heard that there was no contract between Harvey and Fassi. So if there was no contract, that means they are not supposed to supply you with any pen. And why are they saying there was no contract? Why? They said Harvey's first statement was a request for information. Will you sell us bumper hopper? That was the first statement. They said this statement was a request for information. You were requesting for information. So Harvey's first statement was a request for information. Fassi's reply. And what was Fassi's reply? Lowest price for bumper hopper, £900. That was the reply. And what did they said? Harvey's reply was a mere statement of lowest price. It was a mere statement of lowest price in the event of decision to sell. That means when they decide to sell, that is how much they will sell it. But that doesn't mean that they want to sell to you. But if you decide to sell, we will sell it at £900. So the appeal court said that that was not an offer. That was a mere statement of intent. A mere statement of intent. When they decide that we are going to sell the pen, though they have not decided, when they decide that they are going to sell the pen, they will sell it at £900. So, and then they said it is not an offer to sell capable of acceptance. So this one here, at lowest price for bumper hopper, £900, was not an offer. It was a mere statement. And therefore it was not capable of acceptance. So Harvey thinking that they were accepting the offer, the court said there was no offer. The appeal court said there was no offer. It was not an offer. It was a mere. So we are talking about imitation. It was just a mere imitation. That is why they said statement of selling price. is not necessarily an offer, but a mere invitation to treat. So that is for that one. Another example of invitation to treat is advertisement. And here we are not going to waste time. You know what advertisement is. And I slash it with prospectuses. You know this prospectus is not the one that was given to you when you were coming to school. You know it. When we were talking about companies, remember we said the public companies, they prepare prospectus. And you know what the prospectus they use it for? They advertise their shares. So that is why, so when you say advertisement, now you open any newspaper and a company is advertising their product, they are not making offer. It is invitation to trade. If you had any advert on radio, it is not an offer, it is invitation to trade. So all the advertisement you have been watching on TV, all the advertisement you have been listening to on radio, all the advertisements you have been reading in newspapers, they are not offer, they are invitation to trade. So in other words, if you had a particular company advertising that they have this particular product, it is so that this, if you go there and they don't have it, you cannot sue them. If you go there and they tell you that the price is not as advertised, you cannot sue them. Advertisement is a mere invitation to trade, it is not an offer. In the same way, when companies advertise that they are selling their shares, and listen, when a company is advertising that they are selling shares, they are not making offer. They are inviting you to come and make an offer. So when you subscribe to buy the shares, you are rather making the offer. So if they don't give the shares to you, if they don't sell the shares to you, you cannot sue them. So don't think that the prospectus was an offer. The prospectus was not an offer. It was a mere invitation to trade. So if they don't give to you, there is nothing you can do. So take note of that. Another example, if a company, there is a vacancy and they advertise, then you apply that they should employ you. Now that advertisement you saw in respect of the vacancy, that is not an offer. It is invitation to trade. You, the applicant, you are making an offer that they should employ you. They will accept it when they invite you, you go through the process and they give you appointment letter. It is the appointment letter, that is the acceptance letter. So if you apply and they don't take you, you can't say that you have applied, you have accepted their offer. You are not accepting their offer. You are making an offer that they should employ you. They can decide to accept it or not accept it. They will only accept it when they give you appointment letter. So long as they have not given you appointment letter, even if you heard from somewhere that when you went for the interview, you were the one who had the highest mark and that they have employed you, a third person, informal communication. If you heard it somewhere and they still don't employ you, you cannot sue them. Why? Because you have not had appointment letter to show that they have accepted your offer. So take note of that one. The last one for today is auction, which works the same way as advertisement. Auction. Now, what is sales by auction? What is it? When you say you are selling by auction, what is it? Some of you attend churches where at certain point in time, whether at the end of the year or whatever in your harvest, they will bring items, yams, plantains, cassava, tomatoes, and so forth. Then the one who is leading will pick, let's say, the plantain. And then the first person will say, 50 the room may be silent. Then the one who is selling may say, may repeat 100 cedis. Meaning, is there anybody who wants to say something higher than that, or we should give to the person? 100 cedis. Oriko, 100 cedis. Then, another person will just say 150 cedis. Then if after some time, nobody says anything, then the person who is leading it will repeat and say that 100 cedis. Oh no, 150 cedis. 150 cedis. Then the person may ring bell, cry. Then they will give to the person and take the 150 cedis. The same thing happens when it comes to auction sales. Auction. And the person who will be selling is called auctioneer. But the church one, I will not call it auction sales. Because church is not a business organization. But it's the same process. That is why I use it. And that is what you might have witnessed it. That's why I'm using that one as an example. A particular company may have some items, used items, and they may decide that, okay, we want to sell these cars. They may have some old cars, 3 cars. We are going to sell these cars. We will sell this furniture. We will sell that. So they have certain items they want to sell. Then they will put in the newspaper that on a certain date, let's say 30th December 2023, they are going to have auction sales, and it will be there. Then they will get an auctioneer. You add EER. Make it auctioneer, the person that is going to make the auction sale. That is the person's work. So they will go for an auctioneer and pay the person commission. They will pay the person commission. The person will be doing the auction sales, the auctioneer, they will pay him a commission. So on 30th December, all those who read the advertisement that was talking about auction, they will meet at where they said they were going to meet. So if it is at the company's premises, they will all go there. So let's say 100 people read it, and then let's say 20 of them have decided to go there. Somebody is going there to buy one of the cars. Another person is going there to buy a particular set of furniture. Another person is going there to buy a particular thing. So they will all go there. On that day, the auctioneer will come at that time, then they will start. Now, they will bring the car, and the auctioneer may decide to tell them the minimum where they can start from. So maybe they can start from, let's say, 5,000 Ghana cedis. That is just an example. So the first person may say, somebody who is interested in buying the car, all those who went there to buy any of the item, the person may say 6,000 Ghana cedis. Another person may be there, the person will say 10,000 Ghana cedis. Now, in auction, you see 6,000 Ghana cedis, what are they? They are bidding. They are bidding. So at times, in the advertisement that talked about auction, that they were going to make auction, they will say that the item will be given to the highest bidder. So the car, somebody says 6,000. Another person said 10,000. The 6,000, which one is bigger? Of course, it's the 10,000. Another person will say 15,000. And let's assume that was the age. Nobody said any other thing. So the auctioneer will now ring a bell. If he is using a bell, crying. Who is the highest bidder? The one who said 15,000. So the auctioneer will now give the car to the person and take the 15,000 Ghana cedis. Now let me tell you something. Who was making the offer? The one that said 6,000 made an offer. Another person cancelled the offer and said 10,000. Another person cancelled it and said 15,000. So now the one who said the 15,000 was the one who made the offer. The advertisement was not an offer. It's the one when they were bidding. So in auction says the bidding is equal to the offer. So the bidding is equal to the offer. It is not the advertisement. It is the bidding that is the offer. And the auctioneer is the one that will decide to accept it or not to accept it. If he has a bell and he rings it, crying, it means he has accepted it. If he has a hammer and he strikes it, bam, it means he has accepted it. So what does that? What it meant was that assuming you went to the place to buy a car that they said they were going to sell, but when you went, they didn't even bring the car. The question, can you sue them? No. Why? Because they did not make an offer. The auction advertisement for the auction was not an offer. It was a mere invitation to trade. So if you went there and they didn't even bring it, there is nothing you can do. So that is that. We are going to use a case to also support that auction or advertisement for auction is not an offer, but a mere invitation to trade. And that is Harrison versus Nickerson. Harrison versus Nickerson in 1873. Harrison versus Nickerson in 1873. I hope you have zoomed to the extent that it will be seen clearly. Harrison versus Nickerson in 1873. As I always ask you, if I ask you who is the defendant, what are you going to tell me? Did you say Harrison? You were wrong. If you said Nickerson, you were right. Nickerson is the defendant. Harrison is the plaintiff. Now, the defendant, Nickerson, was an auctioneer. So now we know who an auctioneer is. And he advertised in a London newspaper that there was going to be sales of furniture. And that sales of furniture was going to be held in Bury St. Edmunds. That was where the sales of the furniture was going to be held. A broker, this broker, who is a broker? We shall learn who a broker is when we go to our next topic. That will be law of agency. We will learn about who a broker is. A broker, in this sense, is somebody who has been engaged by another person to do something on his behalf. An agent. The broker is an agent who buys something on behalf of another person. So this person, a broker, who had this advertisement of auction sales, and when brokers work, what they give them is called commission. So he had commission and he traveled to the place to buy a set of furniture. When he went there, he realized that, these people said they were going to sell furniture. I have come, but the sales had gone on. They have actually had the auction sales. He was waiting that they were going to bring the set of furniture. They didn't bring the set of furniture. These people have made me waste my time. Wow, you said you were going to sell a set of furniture. I have traveled all the way to Bury St. Edmunds to buy this furniture for my principal so that I can get my commission. You people have deceived us. You didn't even bring the furniture. You have lost time. You have wasted my time. So he sued them for loss of time. Did he win the case? No, he lost it. Why did he lose it? He lost it because, you see, auction is not an offer. Advertisement is not an offer. So when you saw that advert, they were rather inviting you to come and make an offer. So when you went, they didn't even bring the items. Even though the auction itself took place, other items were sold. The one that you decided to go there to buy, which they actually advertised that they were going to sell, they did not even bring it. So if they did not bring it, it means there is nothing there for you to make an offer. And therefore, if there is nothing there for you to make an offer so that they can decide to accept or not, you cannot sue them because they did not make an offer. Don't think that, you see, he was thinking that, Harrison was thinking that when they advertised in the newspaper that they were going to sell the furniture, they had made an offer. In law, it is not an offer. It is considered as invitation to treat. And therefore, you remember the definition of invitation to treat. I hope now you understand it. A communication. You know, here they communicated through the newspaper. So a communication that is inviting an offer, which may or may not be accepted. So this communication invited people to come and make an offer, which Harrison was part. He went there to buy furniture. Unfortunately for him, the furniture, they didn't even bring it at all. So he sues for loss of that, and he lost the case because auction or advertisement is not an offer, but a mere invitation to trade. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's lesson. Now let's look at our objective, whether we'll be able to achieve our objective. Number one, what is an offer? Can you define an offer? Number two, distinguish between an offer and invitation to treat. Distinguish between an offer and invitation to treat. Number three, give 4 examples of invitation to treat. Number 4, explain any 3 types of offer. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you will be able to answer those questions. Till we meet again another time to continue on this same topic, offer. I told you we'll be talking about ways by which an offer may be terminated. When you make an offer, remember one of the types of offer was open offer, standing offer. But offer can come to an end. When does offer come to an end? You have your materials. Remember, I have given you soft copy of law of contract because you don't have the book 2 now. I've given you soft copy. Read. By the time you come to school, the book will be ready. Till we meet again another time.